Hello, welcome to MAQS and Fives. In this session, we'll be covering accessibility testing with MAQS. So we'll start off here in the GitHub page for MAQS. We'll scroll down and we'll go to our help files. And our help files will have MAQS 5. MAQS 5 is the first version that accessibility testing was available in. We go in here, we can just search. In this case, we have MAQS. Scroll down here a little bit. Then we get to see the basic usage. A couple things to note. We can do accessibility checks. We can just do logging. We can also throw exceptions if any violations are found. And we can actually go down to kind of a lower level and get kind of better messages. So we can deal with those in code as we see fit. MAQS accessibility testing leverages something called seleniumax.net. This is another open source project also hosted in GitHub. So if you want to learn more about this project, feel free to find it on GitHub. And there's some really nice documentation, which we'll go through step by step. If you want to get a little bit lower level than what MAQS is doing out of the box for you, this is a great place to start. And something to note, if you're going to be doing accessibility testing with MAQS, you're going to need to pull down the selenium.ax dependency. So let's walk through that now. So I have a new project here. I haven't actually installed anything or got anything set up. So first thing that we'll do is we will make sure we have the latest version of MAQS installed. Cool. And now that we have that, let's create a new Selenium MAQS project. Nice. And then we're going to need to add Selenium Axe as a reference for our project. So I just need to add it to my tests project. If we just add this, now I'm ready to start doing accessibility testing. Something to note: I don't actually have to make any code changes in order to get this capability. The only code changes I'll need to do are the code changes to actually execute a accessibility test. So I could go in and start coding here, but we only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to go over to an example that I already built out. So in this example, we have a basic login page, nothing special here, but we have a couple of different accessibility runs. So we have this first one. This is just doing an accessibility check. We run all of the checks and we log them. And in this case, we don't throw an exception if any violations are found. We could also go to the level of choosing what kind of accessibility check that we want to do. In this case, we were doing violations, but we could do pass, complete, or pass, incomplete, inapplicable, or violations. And then we can give them whatever logging level we'd like. That's another option. Or we could also go and use kind of lower level AX capabilities and run the analyzer on our browser or on our WebDriver. Something to note, you can also put in like a specific web element so you can limit the scope. But this gives us a nice readable message, and you'll see that we can do multiple checks. So in this case, I want to do violations. This one, I want to do passes. And if we want to get even more complex, we can actually get the AX results based off the AX builder. So AX builder lets us do include, exclude. This gives you kind of that fine level control if you really want to have targeted accessibility testing. And then last but not least, we have the normal check. But this one will actually throw an exception if we have any violations. And we absolutely have some violations. So let's run this test. Okay, the test is complete. So now if we go to our log files, uh, like I said, we have violations and this will throw an exception. So we had a failure at that point. We have our screenshot, shows what was on the screen at the time that it failed. But then we also have all of our log information. So what exactly the checks were and what failed. And this includes all of those checks that we did above. So you'll see for here we looked for success. So these are checks that were successful. So these adhered to the standard. If we go down here a little bit more, we'll see violations. And the really nice thing is we get selectors, so we know exactly where these errors occurred, but we also get a link to what is this error, why is it something you should care about. This makes it very nice for developers. And if you marry this with the ability to take screenshots and capture a page source that MAQS provides, it provides a really good experience for letting your developers know what's going on in the application and what should be fixed. And with that, we're complete. Thank you.